Hello, guys. It's Max here with Alex, Zach, and Brett for the first edition of the Boys in the Boat Overwatch League podcast. Today, we're going to look at last week's games as well as some other talking points, and then some really early predictions, as well as go over the bans for next week. All right, so now we're going to look over last week's games. The bans were Reinhardt and Tank, Brigitte and Support, and then the DPS were McCree and Widow. The first game was Atlanta versus Washington. That was a clean 3-0. Did you guys watch this? I did, and
I
it
didn't,
was
but
a dump.
by
It
looking
was
at the
3-0.
score,
I watched
Atlanta
some
2-0 Ilios, 4-3 Route 66, and 3-1 Hollywood.
Yeah,
Which is
and they had subs
not
in. They had
close.
Sharp and Kodak in for reference. That's how bad it was.
Yeah.
This to me just shows you how not
Bad the
how,
Washington
yeah, how much the Washington Justice are struggling, and they don't have a terrible roster. I don't think like they have Arc.
Arc and Aim God seem pretty
Arc
decent
God
support.
is
I think Roar.
I
Roar
think
was
it's
a
the
good
tanks.
backup.
They need
I mean,
another
very much
Elivo.
think it's
Yeah.
the tank.
Look at Elivo.
Yeah,
I don't
Elivo
know.
specifically was really bad.
I haven't seen Tuba much. Is he good?
He
Uba's
was popping. He had like a Doomfist 5K or a 4K on
Yeah,
Root.
looked really impressive.
And it's not the DPS. I think it just comes down to
They
the
have
tank.
Corey. I don't think it's the DPS.
I
And
don't think it's
Stratus, who didn't play this game,
Just
still looks
Corey
really
against
good.
The enemy team.
the only thing with Stratus is he can just play like Pharah, Doom, and May, but that's for another week. I think this is all we have for this game. It's very not close at all.
Yeah.
And the next game, however, was much closer, being the battle for LA, Gladiators versus Valiant.
Yeah.
I know I know me and Brett watched this real time.
Yeah.
Saw that.
It's a heartbreaker, definitely, as a Valiant fan.
Yeah.
Almost had a reverse sweep.
Yeah.
I think it's weird
It would-
that Valiant somehow forced out Ash as a
know.
forced character for them to play.
I think
Well, it's just KSP with aim, really.
yeah, KSP is definitely looking like a very good player so
British Corey.
far. But
And they
yeah,
put Shax, which was cool.
this was the first time we saw Shax this season.
And unfortunately, Space was the hard carry for Gladiators, the
Yeah.
former Valiant player. That was heartbreaking for
On
me.
Ilios, though, Birdring did seem to pick up Ash pretty well.
Yeah, I mean, it's
Yeah.
Birdring. He has
Birdring, yeah.
Some of the best aim in the game.
I think Birdring is definitely picking it up this
since
season.
Kongdu, he's just big aimer. So
He's kind of slacked on London the past 2 years.
Dude, he
struggled,
self-injured
but-
himself.
Yeah,
he's looking more and more like Kongdu. Birdring
Yeah.
every-
he's
every
bringing
game.
it back. Like he used to be one of the best DPS players in the league or in the world, and he's definitely bringing
noticed-
some of that back.
I was looking at some of the first death rates on Reinhardt, and Dreamer is significantly doing better than Gig, but they won with Gig in. I'm personally thinking Dreamer because Gig just was pressing charge every second. So I
Yeah.
like the look with Dreamer.
I looked at the team fight win rates, and Gig had like a lower than okay, so there was Dreamer
It's
that
like
was the
44,
highest.
right?
Yeah, something around that. Dreamer was like 51 or something, or 52, and then there was 5 other DPS players, which was like KSF, KSP,
Mhm.
McGravy, and
starting-
stuff, and all the other ones. And
Yeah.
then there was Gig, who was like 44. And they were like
And
48.
they
Yeah.
haven't won with Dreamer. They've won more win fights than they've lost with Dreamer, and they haven't won a game yet, I believe.
No, they beat San Fran with Dreamer, right?
Oh yeah, no, you're right. But and they've lost more definitely because they've
Yeah.
played more with Dreamer. So that's a testament to how much better he's doing. That game was really good though. And then little drama after with specifically Big Goose and Shaz calling the comp like trash, dishonest. I believe they used, which is
Yeah.
weird because that's the only reason they won is they reverted to Ash,
Yeah,
which is really interesting to me. And I think Gladiators could be really good if they got another DPS because Jaro and Mir, they're not bad.
They're
Like,
mediocre.
definitely not bad.
like
But-
DPS.
But if
Okay.
you got a good and Big Goose and Shaz are obviously been in the league for a long time, maybe
This is a later
Really
topic,
so.
but Haxel may be on the market. If
That
they could
would
pick
be-
up Haxel,
a really nice pickup alongside Bird Ring. That'd be
Yeah.
funny because C9 Kongdu versus Runaway was a big thing. Yeah, I
Yeah.
think that
Yep.
covers the game. Obviously, Gladiators 1-3-2.
I feel like Valiant's other DPS besides KSP could be upgraded because
True.
like Shax
Yeah,
and
yeah.
KSF.
What? But they
Very-
did indeed spend all their money
Oh
on
God.
Call of Duty.
Duty.
So
It's just so they could be last seed in
we
that.
don't
too.
know if they have the amount of funds to pick up a DPS like Haxel.
Definitely not one of the Vancouver players. But the next game would be
Florida versus Paris.
Florida. This was really interesting. I saw Paris as a like a lower like a higher.
At least like a
medium
top
tier.
8 team, probably.
Yeah,
I saw
definitely top
Florida
8.
as
I'd
like
say Paris was a top 5 team
low
for me.
tier.
However, this is a discussion point we have here. They lost 3-0, but if they had Xe, would they have won? And I honestly do not think so. Mayhem played so not Mayhem. Like, they all played as a
They
team.
sort of got
Yeah, Mayhem kind of really we haven't seen them in a while, but during the break, they definitely like fleshed better as a team.
Mm-hmm.
I think
And I
Mayhem
think-
has a very
I think it would've been closer
strong
with Xe,
like
but-
tank line. Because I think Gargoyle's pretty good actually and
Yeah,
underrated.
Gargoyle and
and
Fate are.
Fate,
looking
he's
really
never
good.
like doesn't really perform
Obviously.
bad ever. He
But
just
it's a veteran with young players like Yaki and Gangnam Jim.
I
who
think
is-
that might be good because he could bring some experience of playing at that
and
pro
they keep
level.
the mentality.
I swear to God, though they still have Chris, which kind of upsets me though. Please get rid of
Yeah.
Chris.
is
Maybe
Chris
if
good?
they-
Because I haven't been watching the Florida games.
He was terrible last
No,
season.
he
He,
was
has
really
not picked
bad.
it up this season, but apparently he's very important for the comms there. So,
Hey, again, a later
wouldn't know.
topic, but Slime might be on the market.
and that
Probably
would
might
be a good fit for the
A lot of the
Mayhem team.
Vancouver players.
I feel
Would
like
be a
any
good fit
of-
anywhere. Yeah.
Yeah, it could fit like anywhere and just really pick these mediocre to like low high tier teams up to like top 3.
But yeah, and Paris obviously looks. If they could, if obviously they have a star in XD, he's unfortunately out and back in Korea
Mhm.
with some, I believe, neck issues or back
Neck
issues.
Yeah.
He's-
In this
They
game,
should
did they
have-
run double shield?
Yeah, I believe they were running No Smite on Orisa and Hanbin on the Sigma.
Yeah,
believe all-
they were
all three
running.
maps. Yep.
Yeah, they were running Fate,
think this week
Arisa,
was-
and Gargoyle Sigma, especially at
Oh
the
yeah,
part.
for Florida they were
really these bans were pretty bad for them too because Ben Best has definitely improved a lot at the Rhine.
Yeah, that was
Looking at
impressive
really
to
good
me.
Rhine.
And Hanbin is like an all-star on the Diva so far, even though he's
yeah.
played a few games. And FD God looks good on Lucio, which he was actually forced to play a little
Oh yeah,
Mercy.
F-
He was
FD
forced to
God.
play a little Mercy because they're playing Pharah. So, unfortunate week for Paris.
Yeah.
But hopefully, XE gets well soon.
Who has Florida lost to?
London,
They lost to
that's
London.
all I know.
Okay.
they lost 3-2
Philly?
to London.
I think
Was
Philly
there
did.
hero pools then?
There was not hero.
They got
pools.
3-0'd by Atlanta a couple weeks ago.
Well, Atlanta looks,
And Atlanta looks to be a
Atlanta
good
looks good.
so possibly good signs from Florida. Next game being
Yeah.
Boston and Toronto. This wasn't particularly close. Obviously, these are two of the lower tier teams, but Boston did start with a win. Unfortunately, the Boston roster has only 6 players.
Yeah, they lost.
Unfortunate circumstances. And
Mufin, of course. from a
You
few
know what I
weeks
noticed
ago.
this game? They didn't put agilities in ever.
yeah, they I noticed.
They
that too.
normally don't do that. They normally, when Logic lose the first map, they just take them out,
Mhm.
and then they put
Yeah,
in
they
agilities.
normally they run Logic's
I-
with Agility's first
they
map,
just
and then they
want to
lose,
get
and then they put
Logic.
Surefour in.
Mhm.
Also,
I
how good is
attribute that to-
Beast as a main tank?
I don't
Better than
think
I
he-
thought, but
good.
I really thought he should have
I
been in the
don't-
league. He's
I
like
can
a
I
tell,
don't think
'cause I
so.
feel like-
He used to be on he was
Fusion
the worst part of
University
Fusion University's old roster when that
when
happened.
they were
but-
dominating.
But Fusion University was also like the best team.
I feel like they need to upgrade their tank line, especially, and then Kelix, he's
Kelix.
mediocre.
Mm.
But I feel like
It's not the
Surefour,
best ones.
Logic's, Kareev, and Agilities are good
But
players.
remember Kalex from his old days, right? He was on Boston when they went. What?
I don't.
They went 10-0 in the
Yeah.
stage, yeah.
With
but
Kelix, yeah. So
I
you know.
feel
Kelix.
like
But
Gamsu
Striker
and
popped
No
off.
and
Striker
Striker, that's the one. Yeah, they did really good.
Those
really
were more
popped off to bring
Yeah.
that team up.
And
But
agil
they
or
got
not
more
agilities,
scenario.
Dreamcatcher
Mistakes
did really good
performed
too, but we don't talk about
pretty
that.
well in
Mistakes, though.
mistakes play.
mistakes.
Started off with Dreamcatcher, but Mistakes really picked it up after.
Who was the
Dreamcatcher.
support?
What-
Oh, Neko. That was the
Neko.
support.
Neko was the
Yeah, it was Neko.
was
When did
Neko.
Aim God get signed to Boston?
was like
Season
stage 3 or
four.
4.
Stage
Yeah, and
four.
they were interchanging them. Aim God
Did they
was
ever
like,
play Aim God in that stage?
yeah, they
Yes,
put him
I
in
think they
like
played
every
him
once in a while, and he was looking really good.
Really good.
Korean flex supports, man. They had Neko.
Where's
then
Neko
Aim God,
now?
Myunbong.
I don't know. Where's Neko now?
Neko's not on a team. He's
Really?
unsigned. Yeah,
Surprising.
He was-
I thought Neko was pretty, good at
He
flex
was
support.
really good.
I don't think
during
he was a top
season
flex
one.
support, but he was.
He was at least top 3 in season 1.
Season 1, he was
at
pretty
least-
good.
I give him top 5. I think you
I
can't
give
say
him top 5.
3.
I'd say top
Actually-
3 was probably.
I think he
I'd
was
say-
at least top 3.
Yeah,
Wow,
we
we
just
got-
got. We
I
just
think
got
Jonak's
Violet
better,
and Violet.
Badoshin's better, and what's his
Who?
face?
Who was better in season 1? I think he was number 3.
I think definitely top
I think
4.
Shaz was pretty good in season 1.
I don't know. No,
I don't know
I'm
about
not giving
that
it to
one.
Shaz.
I would
But,
not give Chaz over Neko.
Back to Toronto. I think you're not upgrading Calyx first. I think you go for Beast probably
Yeah,
first.
probably.
You're gonna upgrade.
But main tanks are hard to come by.
Mhm. Well, there's a few like Bumper is still available, and Kaiser unfortunately was not
Bumper's
signed
still
off season, so
Kaiser's never been signed.
sad face. And then,
Fuck,
but
Kaiser.
Boston needs to just pick up players like open division players. At this point, they have only 6 players.
They've got who do they have
Like
on their
Krillin.
roster? Jerry Myeonbong looks okay, but he's on a really poopy team.
Actually, yeah, Neko is definitely the third best now that I think, but there actually wasn't that great of
I mean,
flex
yeah,
players
like,
in the first
His
season.
competition was
No.
like Boombox. It was
Like, I'm looking at the standings
only
right now,
competition was
and
Kariv. Only competition really there was Kariv, and I think
actually,
Neko,
I don't know.
first
By the end of
season-
the season, I'd say Kariv was probably better than
Yeah,
Neko.
nah, I don't know though.
because Aim God was playing obviously, but
But Neko was a big part of why.
Holy crap! New York with the
Um,
plus
that was-
83 differential
That
maps.
That was
we're not
crazy.
talking about season 1.
We don't need to
We're
talk
not
about
that. We don't need to
talking
talk about-
season-
and their ability to choke away the finals.
All right, well, this is my favorite match of the week personally. Was Dallas versus San Fran. Very
Yeah, that was
close.
interesting.
Mine too.
Potentially one of the top
But
3 matches of the season so far.
I don't think you could beat the first Paris fusion map for like
That
best.
was
that was also really
How
good.
close was Busan? 'Cause I didn't.
Heartbreaker for
yeah,
Dallas
it
fans.
was
Mm-hmm.
As I am one, but
a little choke.
It was close.
But,
little
Was-
choke on
It
Hanamura.
seems like Hanamura and Numbani were both like really like destruction of maps for team, like because Dallas 3-0'd.
that was
3-0,
full
that
held,
was-
though, but
Wait,
That
they
was-
full
Hanamura
held
has-
them and
no,
Numbani.
no, I don't think they exactly full held, but they held.
like
I think
ticks.
they
San
got
Fran
them-
didn't cap
they gave
the
them
point
3
on
ticks.
Numbani, and
Yeah,
then
no, they
Dallas
didn't.
pushed it all the way. I think is that.
Yeah,
I
and-
think that's
and
what
then
that score means.
And then on
Yeah, it
Hanamura,
does.
they kind of
Yeah.
threw a little bit.
What happened on Hanamura? 'Cause I didn't.
They
They got
didn't
full
exactly.
held.
They got full held like fully.
Oh,
It
oh.
wasn't exactly a good
Yeah.
showing.
But
They,
but
they had
to be-
they had multiple chances, and then Moth just booped them off the point.
Yep.
big moth.
It was a rough time to see it as a
Moth
Dallas
champ.
fan.
But
The
I
San Fran
will
roster
say-
though, it's crazy
San
how strong
Fran
it
roster
is.
so
is
many
kinda
things you
strong.
can do. But
Yeah, they have, like,
who
some of the
else
best-
is-
Coach
Players.
Krusty's got a lot of things.
Was Decay still playing Tracer that game?
Okay.
He didn't pop off like he was before. Doe was
Played
the
a
real
lot
star.
of
Him and
Reaper.
Note.
On
Yeah.
Busan, he was playing Reaper.
Yeah.
And he looked okay. It wasn't. Reaper isn't exactly the greatest, like pop off.
Carry. Yeah.
Doha looked pretty good.
I think
Yeah,
a Gom.
It's real good.
And then whenever, yeah,
If those rumors
Note
were
looks
true.
really good too
Mhm.
on Sigma, which is something we
Sigma.
haven't seen from him playing
Yeah.
another
Off tank besides.
off tank
Diva.
besides Diva.
Mhm. If that comes through with Rascal and Bianca though, this team could be really good if they picked up possibly
But
A
they're
Korean-
still playing Rascal,
Overcome.
so why would they?
Yeah, I don't know
I
the
don't really
validity of
know.
that. But
I that's it's.
Yeah,
I don't
it
think
was definitely a while ago that rumors
because
were.
they
I'm sorry
played
to-
Rascal the entire game against Dallas.
Yeah.
Like all
Yeah, I don't
five
think they want
maps.
to give up Rascal. Rascal is definitely a really.
But if it
I
does,
think
then
it's
just
player still.
That will
Dallas,
be
that
pretty
DPS
good.
line of Doha,
But
Japan,
honestly,
and-
Dallas's DPS line is decent already. They don't need a Rascal.
Already really
Like,
good.
and flexible.
They
could
Okay,
upgrade.
so-
They don't exactly have very much like that. They don't.
I don't know how good is Note on
Decay just
Sigma.
covers
On
it.
the Sigma.
He was pretty good.
like, behind Doha, he was probably the best player of that match
Yeah.
Yeah.
on Sigma.
What would be the reason why they lost? Would you say?
In the last map, Violet
Just
kind of popped
choking.
off.
Yeah, it was just a choke because let me say they have young players in Doha,
Yeah.
Crimzo.
How did
Okay.
Violet look this match? I missed it. 'Cause
Violet in the last
Violet
map clutched up
was
and got
very
and
clutch.
really
Yeah.
good
Yeah.
on Moira. He charged Coalescence a lot faster than Crimzo did. And
Crimzo-
it won them a lot of fights where they
I know Violet is like normally one of the biggest like weak
the better-
points of
he's
the
one of the
shock.
Really?
Yeah, you think? I
I
always
don't
thought
think
it was
so.
like
I thought he was
I-
a strong point.
I
I
don't
think
know.
his Moira is good, but I think his like Ana's Zen struggle sometimes.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know. But just think about this.
Well, he's
They
just
have-
saying a weaker point, Zach, because like I say,
It's the shock.
Joy's very good. Smurf.
would
I don't
say,
know how
like-
good Smurf is. How
I
good
know.
is
I
Smurf?
would say their weakest point
Here's
is
a-
Smurf
he-
really
all he
good.
has
is
to-
their like
yeah,
main tank sort of. That's
yeah,
fine.
because well, Winston.
Except when it's
I don't know about
Reinhardt.
Winston.
When it's Reinhardt, I think.
Obviously,
Smurf
Reinhardt or
is super
Orisa, you
pretty
have
good.
Super and Smurf on their respective characters, and then we played
Yeah.
double main tank. They look good, but
Yeah.
yeah, this was a close game.
But
and it was fun
Winston's
to
yeah.
watch.
See, Winston's not like. Oh yeah. So a talking point later will be about how there's like different metas in different regions of the world. How the
World.
Chinese teams are running dive, and then
And then
the
China's just
American teams
dying.
are running double shield.
Speaking of Chinese teams, we have the first Chinese game, Chengdu versus Guangzhou, which was 3-0 Chengdu. Amang played Winston, which people were not freaking out about, but I was because he's never played professional Winston before, and he looked good.
Elsa played Winston
Amang
before
literally
him,
makes
didn't
no
he?
sense. He
Yes,
just
I
pulls
think
out
I've seen
random
him.
characters.
Holy,
Yeah,
Guangzhou
I'm
didn't
convinced
score a
he's just a
single
god.
point. How was this game? How close was it? Close at all?
No,
2-0
I mean, on Rialto,
Rijon,
Rialto-
1-0 Rialto, through 2-0
Shinmu
Hanamura or
was
Hollywood.
Dominating
Yeah.
Nero on Pharah.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
Wait, they perfect swept them.
Jinmu,
Yeah, it was a
I'd
perfect
say
game.
That
Jinmu
doesn't happen
is
much.
the second best Pharah in the league, right after
like this.
Ding.
right under Ding. Yeah.
And that was interesting
really,
to see
like,
him
hot.
versus Ding in the Shanghai game. But yeah, that's not much to talk
Has-
about.
Yeah.
here, so.
What about
Big
Krong?
sweep.
How did he perform that game? Because I know he was
Not as
like
good as I thought he
actually.
would. I drafted him in fantasy, and he's doing he's Krong.
I want to talk about like I haven't heard any thoughts about them picking up Neptuno. I don't think Neptuno is really that good anymore.
Who was their
I think
support
the
before?
only- It's really
Chara.
only good.
I think
character.
Chara was probably
Well,
better than
my
Neptuno.
eyes.
Like Neptuno was
Yeah,
very
maybe
good at
Neptuno-
Mercy.
Except for maybe Mercy, because Neptuno's
Yeah.
obviously one of the best Mercies in the world.
Yeah, but I don't think he's like
Yeah.
that good at like Lucio and like
Also,
Brig.
they played. I want them to keep playing Molly over Kaio, but they keep playing Kaio first map. Maybe it's a control.
Well,
thing, but-
actually, I'm gonna
Molly
bring this
really
up
impressed
on
me.
Like
the
with Logics
on the stream.
Mhm.
If you go to the Wikipedia and you go to the Guangzhou, and you, this is like a complete joke, but if you go to Guangzhou Charge and look at their 3 most recent drops of their players, where is it?
Would it be Hapa, Kib, and I don't know. No, they traded to Kib.
Oh wait, no, this is not Guangzhou. This is Chengdu. Is what I meant.
Mm-hmm.
Chengdu.
It was
Chengdu
Gary.
has
Did they drop
Molly,
Gary?
right? Chengdu has Molly, right?
Yeah, they currently have Molly.
If you look at
yes.
their drops, they go the 99th number, the 88th number, and then the 77th, and look who's 66.
Uh-oh. Goodbye.
Is Molly good? Like, I didn't
Yeah,
know
he
if
was been doing really
he
good. He was
played-
a big prospect coming out of contenders, and he's been playing well on Ana specifically.
Is Fraggy on a team anymore?
No,
he got dropped
Oh,
from Guangzhou.
yeah.
Is
They-
he on
they
like
didn't.
contenders or anything?
I doubt it. He's almost 30 years old.
I'm gonna check right now. Yeah,
He's really old.
he's 29.
hmm But yeah, this was not much to talk about. Actually, we might as well
Not
get
much
into
to
it.
talk
Considering
about.
Amen is here, well, let's talk about the dive because for some reason, the West because the Chinese teams can only play Chinese teams, they're playing dive. I guess and that's a thing that they do. Also, instead of the Mei Reaper double shield with Lucio Moira, they were playing Mei Hanzo and then Zen Bap with still double shield. So I don't know. I feel like
See, they were running different supports
to
at different
watch.
times though. Like sometimes
Yeah.
they're running Mercy, Ana, and then
Mercy,
Moira,
Ana.
Lucio.
hmm
They seem to be running Sombra like the entire time though.
Yeah, Sombra dive was big.
I think
But,
Mercy Anna, when they have like open maps where like Chengdu, like
It
where
seemed like
they
Guangzhou though was running the Mercy Ana, but with the Pharah instead of like Tracer. How Chengdu ran the Tracer with
leave.
Leave on Tracer. Yeah.
But Jinmu, like on Rialto, he like Farah dueled Nero like 3 times and just destroyed him every time. Nero
Yeah,
had
like-
no chance. Jinmu is just so good. At
Jinmu's
it.
such a good
I
farm.
thought Leave would be the all-star, like the carry for Chengdu, but it's
It's
might be
been
Jinmu.
it was
He's
Jinmu
so-
last season. It's Jinmu now.
Yeah. And Ameng apparently can just learn any main tank at
He
will.
literally just
Yeah.
remember that
Like,
game
he
He
pulled out
looked
his
good on
Reinhardt
Winston.
last
He
time?
looked good on Winston too.
from when he just picked up Reinhardt.
Reinhardt,
when he faced,
just-
Against the
Just for
Titans,
bumper?
it just like swept bumpers.
I remember when they their other main tank that they had, and we thought he
what's-
was gonna play. I don't remember who.
I forgot
who
his
it was.
name.
It's I've got the site up. Is it
Um,
G Kieran?
G-Chirin,
Kieran,
yeah.
Yeah, we thought
Sheeran,
he
yeah, I
was
don't
gonna
know
play,
how
but then Ameng just kept playing. It was odd.
It's that good, dude. He's the Yada Chad.
True.
All right, what's the next game? More Chinese teams, obviously. It was
Shanghai versus
Shanghai.
Hong Kong.
Another just sweep, not close.
Yeah.
Shanghai looks really good with their DPS lines of Fleta, DM, Lip, and Ding. By far the best
think
DPS
they're-
line in the league.
Yeah.
In my eyes.
Yeah. I don't think they're very
Lip
Yes,
has
they are.
been the best DPS actually, I think.
I think he was like a really good main support.
We have two things to talk about here.
But it was
Void,
always meta.
Void, or not Void, what am I talking about? Stand 1 and Fearless have been going in and out, and I think Fearless looks better. Stand 1 obviously came from Gladiators Legion last year, who disappointed a little bit in the Gauntlet, and he was a little disappointing on that team, so I don't know that was a good pickup, but Fearless has been stepping it up. He's one of the oldest members of the Shanghai. He actually got dropped and re-signed, I believe, so.
Yes.
This was a game though that did run double shield for both teams.
They
Actually,
Yeah,
did
they
though.
were-
double shield.
They played more Winston when they played Fearless. So
Also,
I think like Stand One just can't play Winston.
I'd like to
Maybe.
inform everybody that Otto did get signed to Hangzhou, and I didn't know about it. And I know most of the pickups that happened. That went right
Yeah.
under my radar. Is that Otto was on?
When
Good,
was it? Was it
because-
before the season started? Or
Yeah, I
recently?
think so. I think I saw it, and I was like, "Oh, who cares? It's Otto." But I do care because
I mean, yes.
Otto had to struggle in the Shanghai Dragons
That's
with
true.
him and
Seems like Spark has the same roster as last year, basically.
Him in the
Yeah,
0-40
it is.
run.
who did they also sign that was also doing good?
Fearless.
No. The Tracer player started with a D.
It was Dia. Wasn't it Dia? Didn't
no.
Dia play still?
Here, let me look it up.
pretty
on
sure
the
Dia
computer.
still
I'm
play.
looking at it right now.
0-40 Shanghai.
How recent? Like in 2020?
This was
No,
the
the
0-40
first
Shanghai
season.
Dragons.
Yeah, he was on 0-40, and he was.
Is he still on the
godly
team?
on Tracer. No, he got dropped. Look in the drop section.
Crystal, Revenge, No Smite. Oh, there's only one person who's been dropped, and it's
Hangzhou.
Crystal.
I'm talking about
Oh.
Shanghai.
Oh, I know.
Jesus Christ,
I forgot what his
their
name
former
is.
is it
They have a
Got-
ton of former.
Damon?
Damon. Thank you, Damon.
Oh.
Damon and Otto were stepping it up, and they still couldn't win anything.
Look at how
Still couldn't
many.
win because
They got
their
dropped,
best
yeah.
chance was against Dallas in week 1 of stage 4, but then Dallas ended up being good that stage.
Mhm.
Fearless in the former and the
They
current
have
play.
gone through 16 players. They have
Lot of
16,
players.
and they still have a massive
best
active
roster.
squad. 16.
This is their best roster by far. They could take it to the end this year.
Realistically, yeah.
If you
TIP
count their
on-
two-way of Dia, they have 28 players they've had on the team.
That's crazy.
16 off, and then they have
Dia
12
already
right now.
played, so I don't think we need to,
I missed Dia when he was good. That was fun to watch.
especially in
Yeah.
the preseason.
What is their like two-way? Like, what is the other team?
It's Team CC, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. You can click on
People give
Dia's
it
thing.
CC.
Yeah.
But yeah, and our next talking
Yeah,
point
it is.
Sasin versus Rhea. Sasin has been getting a lot of playtime, even though I prefer Rhea. Rhea has been decent, good enough on the Sigma, and a great diva player, obviously. Big bombs. And I'm a little confused, boys.
See, I
I-
wish.
Rhea did play in their game against Guangzhou.
Yeah.
They still lost, so.
But Rhea, he played in the playoffs, or like the play-ins rather, last year, I believe, right?
he
Yeah,
did.
I believe so.
And I know
How
they
is-
brought Sasson in during the Roadhog Rissa meta because he was a good Roadhog. So it's not his first time
How
playing.
did Rhea's like Sigma look during the play?
It's not any worse than Sasson's is now. I don't know. I'm a little unsure about this.
Okay.
Mm,
I think our next game after that is
it was
Guangzhou
Shanghai.
Nangzhou.
Oh yeah,
Yep.
yeah.
3-1 Guangzhou.
This was another sweep because it's China. That's how they do it.
It was actually 3-1.
This
This
time
was
Nero.
not a sweep. This was a 3-1.
Oh, that's what I meant. 3-1.
Basically a
difference.
sweep. Gentleman sweep.
It was not close, really. And
Yeah,
Nero popped off
China.
on Farah, and like he does with his all Asian team. Actually, never mind. Neptuno's there now.
I wish Stats Lab
Jinmu.
was available for this week.
Jinmu.
Mm. I'll tell you. I'll give you the news. Nero just popped off, basically.
I
Hey,
saw
yeah,
that. I saw that
they
on
play-
Twitter.
As Nero
Yeah,
does.
they did play Rhea, and this whole entire match, and it looked. Obviously, they didn't swap him out. He looked. There wasn't a lot they could do with that. Nero just kind of destroying them. Neptuno on the Mercy. That's and the last game should be Shanghai and Chengdu, which is another 3-0 because China.
This was a very good week for Shanghai.
They're win trading.
Shanghai is just like
Shanghai
super
I feel
Seven,
like their one loss, honestly, might have been just a fluke.
It was a fluke. It was a
Yeah.
fluke.
'Cause they look like a
didn't-
very
And
dominant
then they
team.
3-0 Chengdu. And they
Mm.
the only reason they really lost to Chengdu was because they decided they want to face them with Wrecking Ball comps.
hmm
And,
And this
That's
match
not
they
good
had
against
Fearless,
Almang.
and Fearless looked really good on Winston.
Yeah, I think that's why they played him over Stand One. I don't know. I haven't never seen Stand One play Winston, but Fearless did look really good on Winston.
And so
How
did
good is
Almang, to be
Elsa?
fair.
I don't
Elsa has
know.
always been good, I think.
Yeah, Elsa's a pretty good.
Do you think he's worse than
when they
Void?
could swap. Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Void is
Yeah,
looking
he's definitely-
dominant in Sigma.
Yeah, Void's
Really
definitely looking
dominant.
really good right now.
and a really good Diva.
I feel like just like if you look at the Shanghai roster, compare it individually, it just should win against Chengdu.
The only
every
question
time.
was Jinmu, and
First-
like
No.
Really?
Or Ding. I don't know. Well,
I think Lee has a lot of potential, but he just really has been pushing it to as far as he could go.
Did only
Mhm.
play Ding in that match.
and also Luffy
Play
got
Flood.
play of the match. By the way, he was doing really good on Ana. Had a nice
Yeah.
180 sleep on Oasis. But
was
that wraps
Dorado
up
close?
the-
Because both teams pushed it all the way.
Yeah, it was close.
I think that's the map where there was like the
Yeah.
Farah battle. 'Cause I saw
Hmm.
some clips on that.
Yeah, those I mean, Chinese games are never good games, right? They're always 3-0s, 3-1s, but it's nice to watch Shanghai because they're going to be one of the best teams this year, I think. So
Yeah.
let's get on to some of our talking points.
We
We
already
went
talked
over a lot of these, yeah. Boston.
Let's talk about
Boston needs players. That's all I'm gonna say about that. Okay, this is an important one. Chipsa bet. Chipsa has bet
yeah.
he will gift XUC 1,000,000 subs if he does not play. So hopefully we see Chipsa play, because that would be hilarious.
That would be hilarious, but if the
I don't
Philadelphia
know.
Fusion actually intend on winning the game, I would assume that Chipsa will not play.
I don't know if they play this week. I don't know if this is a chipset meta coming up.
Nope, I don't think so.
'Cause I just saw on Florida Mayhem's Twitter.
This
They
would-
said, "Oh yeah, it's all coming together," and it was a GIF of Widowmaker.
Yeah, and
So
we all know.
it appears that
Mm.
Florida
We
is
all know
suspecting
how
It's not like
it's
Widow.
like Widowmaker.
Clearly, Chipsa plays Widowmaker.
maybe play Hanzo.
Dude, no.
And if any of our viewers have watched
has
Chipsa on
Alright.
Overwatch or on like Twitch, you know he hates Widow. Like
Yeah,
know.
he does.
Yeah.
Here, this is an interesting one. Vancouver. So I will start. I will explain this. Apparently, the Vancouver players are very upset with the management, and they've all
I'm gonna bring
taken
up the Twitters.
Vancouver- Yeah. They've all taken Vancouver out of their bio on Twitter. Which, it doesn't seem like a lot, but as a team, they've very good team chemistry has run away, and so it's disappointing to see this. Maybe it's possible that maybe they'll leave, but I don't see it happening. I think that they'll probably play the remainder of the season. But those could be really big pickups for other teams, like teams that maybe they're just struggling on one role because all of the Vancouver players are stellar, right?
Like Florida
Great
and
roles. yeah, those Korean teams like Florida could get a big boost out of like a Slime or
Like
you know,
Fusion with
Slime and Twilight were
Fusion
very
with
good
Slime.
supports too.
Any team that needs
Yeah.
a flex support could use Twilight. It would be amazing. Obviously, Janu in my opinion, should have gotten MVP last year, but wasn't winning.
Haxel with
Hacksaw won Rookie of the
with
Year. Any team, as long as it had some Korean players.
Janu still has Vancouver Titans still in his bio.
Yeah, well, Janu's not very active on Twitter, so probably take him a little
Doesn't
bit.
exactly matter.
Yeah. And time for the most important part. This week's Sailor of the Week, we have, let's see, 6 candidates, being Space, Violet, Lip, Yaki, Jinmu, and KSP. And what do you all think? Because I'm interested.
Okay, so Space in his one game that he played, he performed very well the entire game. Like
hard carry
hard.
the whole time.
But you could also say the same about KSP. He literally broke Final Blow's record for Valiant. I think he had almost 80, like 88 maybe, Final Blows in one
Yeah.
game.
yeah,
That's
it was
crazy.
up there.
They forced LA Gladiators on Ash
Play Ash.
because of how the damage boosted Ash that Valiant ran.
It was powerful.
Yeah, so but Space coming out with a win is a
Yeah.
little more enticing.
And
Well,
Violet
I
though,
think Yaki-
Violet
Yaki
carried
won.
San
Violet
Fran.
came in clutch and allowed
Yeah.
for San Fran to not only stop the Dallas from getting any confidence moving forward into the season, but also them from having to deal with the fact that they would lose to Dallas. Imagine losing to Dallas. It's not good for your psyche. But I think the clutch factor is really what comes down to Violet's case for Sailor of the Week.
Let's talk about Lip. Lip played 2 games, obviously with the
Both
Shanghai
of them were
Dragons.
3-0s.
Both of
So
them were
And
3-0s.
he looked like the better. He looked
best
like the
player
better
in
of
the
the
entire
team
game?
out of a team that has DM, Fleta, and Ding. So that says a lot, like a lot.
it says quite a bit about how much the Shanghai Dragons have.
Proved
A
since
wealth
season 1.
Yes, and a wealth of riches that
Yes,
I don't
that they
think
can,
many of other teams can compare to.
Especially not Valiant.
Shock.
especially not Valiant. And then last being Yaki, who was, or not last, next up is Yaki, who was a Florida Mayhem player, played really good May across the entire series, which let them, realistically, was a big part in why they 3-0'd the Paris Eternal. I don't see him winning.
I don't
Personally,
either.
playing one match against Paris Eternal without their star player, but he definitely played well, which is a good sign for Florida. And then lastly, Jinmu for dominating on Farah against Guangzhou, and then obviously he played good. He played a Sombra against
I don't know, okay.
played Sombra against the Shanghai Dragons,
Well, he was against
and
the Shanghai
his team
Dragons.
Jinmu could not. You can't carry as 1 DPS in Overwatch League. It's not a 1v6,
Yeah.
you know, it's a team game. So, but Jinmu did play well. Him and Ameng played really well. Personally, I'm giving it to Lip this week.
I would also give it to Lip.
I'd say Lip for sure.
I don't know how good the other Chinese teams are though. That's the problem.
The problem because we
Yes,
don't
but-
haven't played anybody else.
Like they've beat Vancouver, but there was like a leak from one of like someone inside like the Titans staff or somehow, and that they're all like very stressed right now because of all the drama, like how because they're like in really bad situations right now. With
At
how
their house, right?
yeah, they're all at their
Yeah.
house. There's no like place to set up and play and stuff. But Lip, they did 3-0 2 games.
But they did, yes, they did 3-0.
That says something.
both games.
Some consistency to China. Thank God.
And it seems that Lip was the best player, I would say, in all of those games.
That's so impressive to me that as a rookie, you're the best DPS so far out of
on a team
DM,
with
Fleta, and Ding. But yeah, what do you guys want to do? Some let's see. We can't do predictions unfortunately because the schedule has not been announced. Do you guys want to maybe throw together a quick power rankings based on the
Yeah,
hero
for
bands?
sure.
If we're gonna start from the bottom, that'll make it easier. We got
Okay.
Boston, right?
Yeah, I don't
Boston
think there's very
bottom,
much. I don't
and then
think there's very.
Justice, right?
Yeah, Justice is Washington or Boston and Justice are definitely the two.
At the
the
bottom,
bottom.
no matter what hero pools realistically, and then so hard to do because of Chinese teams.
Uh,
Maybe Florida looked good. Where do you guys see?
Probably Justice. Definitely Justice.
Justice is.
Oh yeah,
Justice is,
Boston 20th, then Justice. We were thinking.
We were thinking.
What
We're
about-
thinking 18.
Maybe Toronto.
Yeah, that makes
Toronto
sense
does
to me.
look bad, but they. Yeah. I'd say Toronto.
Mm-hmm.
They've lost to
then-
Houston enough times where I would say they're relatively poor.
And then I think this is where we get back to Houston, probably after Toronto.
Probably unless we want to
Who
put one
has
of the
Houston-
Chinese teams. Maybe Hangzhou.
Well,
But
Chengdu's
Hangzhou
lower, but Chengdu
got
also.
beat by both of the other Chinese teams, but they also beat the.
The Dragons.
It all depends on the hero
Hangzhou
pool.
beat
Okay, so
Dragons.
what do we actually? Maybe before this, we make what we think the best comp will be for this week, upcoming
All
week,
right,
because
I'm done. With a Orisa ban, you obviously can't play double main tank or double shield, so
Ryan Diva.
is the obvious progression. And then
Um,
we're actually probably gonna go back to the meta we saw
May
week one.
McCree.
Ryan Diva, May McCree, and then Ana Lucio, if I had to guess.
probably because
most likely since that
Depen-
was the meta.
does the May nerf like make May played less at all? Is she
No,
still?
she's
I
played
would
this
doubt
week.
it.
I would. Also, I don't know if it went through because of Overwatch League rules. Obviously, they don't go
Yeah.
based on the current patch.
Yeah, but I
yeah.
would honestly doubt it if
And how did Chengdu do the beginning, like weeks 1 through 4?
Didn't play.
Oh yeah, they didn't play.
Yeah,
We have no
that's-
clue.
We have zero idea.
Hmm.
Unfortunately, that does give us an idea for some other teams, though. Like Houston obviously struggled, so I think they're definitely down there right after Defiant.
Oh, Hangzhou did 3-0 Chengdu. Oh my, that's such a
Yeah, the Chinese scene is a
Chinese
mess.
scene is actually a mess.
Except for Shanghai. Shanghai obviously. looks
Shanghai's
good.
been clean.
Except for that one
that
3-0
slip
loss
up.
to Hunters, right?
Chengdu. Yes.
It's just strange. So strange.
But I'd say Houston's that probably worse than both of those Chinese teams.
Both the Chinese teams.
Yeah, definitely. So they're
Let's
probably
put Houston
would
there.
that be 16th?
We'll put
Yes.
Houston there.
Yeah.
Yeah. Because their one win against Paris isn't.
Doesn't really count.
We'd say that's a fluke.
I think they picked it up a little bit, but they really struggled at the beginning of the season.
Okay. Then
After
maybe
that, here we have-
Hangzhou.
And then maybe Hangzhou.
Yeah, probably
Hangzhou.
Hangzhou.
Because Hangzou lost to Guangzhou, so I would say Hangzhou.
Yeah. Based on our
Hangzhou.
hierarchy of last week for Chinese teams, it would go Shanghai best, then Chengdu, then Guangzhou.
Is Hangzhou and Chengdu close in skill? Like, would they be right next to each other in
Yeah.
the tier?
Well,
Right.
Maybe
No,
Valiant
I would-
could go.
I would
I don't know.
say Guangzhou would be pretty far.
See, I don't know
Would be,
how
like,
we
right next
low.
to Hangzhou.
Valiant and Dallas are both 18th and 17th, but they've also had like the hardest teams.
They've only
they're in
faced.
Pacific West, right?
Yes, which is arguably the hardest division in the league, with having to face Seoul or not Seoul, San Fran, Titans, and Gladiators,
Mhm.
which are very strong teams. But Vancouver could be going down.
Yeah, actually, I would say probably based on what we've heard
Vancouver
from
might-
Vancouver, Matt might
Do we
be
put
down here.
Vancouver
If
below
they've
Hangzhou
lost to these.
or Guangzhou?
Depends
I
though, because we
I
don't
would,
know.
Just because it could be a fluke. So I think you put them above Guangzhou,
Okay.
to be honest. Right after Guangzhou. So after Vancouver, it would go down to probably... How many Chinese? Okay, we have Chengdu and Shanghai left.
This
for
is
the-
probably where.
I think Shanghai's a lot higher than where we are.
Yeah,
this is-
probably Paris next,
this is-
maybe?
No, I'd say
No.
Valiant might
Actually,
probably
yeah,
verse.
Valiant. Valiant. No, I'd say Valiant. Because Paris doesn't have XE. They'd lose 3-0 to the Florida Mayhem, too.
I put
Valiant.
Is
Valiant-
Exy gonna be out for the rest of the season?
I hope not. He was a
I-
very
We
good
can't.
player.
Like he's
I
getting
would
surgery,
agree.
right? For his, like his neck, I think.
I believe so, or just
Korea.
at least resting.
Something.
Yeah, he's in Korea.
He's getting surgery on something, if I remember.
Like his neck.
I don't
believe.
remember specifics.
Either Necker's back.
Mm-hmm.
And that takes like a month or two to recover from. Maybe?
Well, neck, I'd say probably
It
3.
depends. It depends.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm not a medical.
He's out for the foreseeable future, so let's say.
At least next week, 100%. So I'd say
those-
after that we might want to put probably Paris and then Valiant. Does that make sense?
I don't know. Is this just for next week?
This is
Yeah, just for
this
next
is what
week.
we assuming they are going
For
into.
next week
Yeah.
because we don't have
Valiant played
schedules,
2
so-
games in that, and they weren't awful. They actually were.
They weren't.
If you watched the Vancouver versus Valiant game, it was a pretty close game. So even though it was a 3-0 score, if you
And
watched
Valiant,
it,
and
Valiant beat Dallas that
Vancouver-
week also.
mhm.
But Dallas, I don't know if they were as good as they
Dallas
are
wasn't
now.
exact-
Yeah.
I think
Yeah.
Dallas were just clicking since I'm pretty sure they just signed some of their players.
Yeah. So we'll say,
Um,
yeah, Paris Valiant. That makes sense.
Paris Valiant. Where are we now?
Probably Dallas next.
I don't know. I think London could also be there.
Yeah.
Oh, we haven't put
London,
London yet,
We
actually.
haven't put London
I
down.
forgot about London entirely.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't. London's only beaten like pretty bad
London's really
teams.
And they haven't really kept it close.
I'd probably put London maybe above Guangzhou, but below Vancouver.
Yeah.
above Guangzhou, but below Vancouver. Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I can see that.
Yeah, that makes sense.
I completely
Makes
forgot
sense.
about them. 'Cause I was.
And also Florida. We might not put Florida in the
If we-
here.
so
but
if
that
we put
last
Dallas-
Florida game, if they play like
They
that,
looked
always.
tight.
Are we gonna
I'd say Florida for a little later.
keep the Pacific region close, or are they like leagues away from each other?
Pacific's. I think actually we have.
I think Pacific is quite
Mm.
close because, though I think Shock might be the best in our region. Or in the
Definitely,
region of
Pacific West
that-
is
Pacific
Rock's
West.
best.
I think next
Then
might-
probably Gladiators for that region. Then, well, actually, isn't Vancouver in Pacific West?
Yes.
Yes.
Well,
And they're
we're
falling
Depends.
apart.
they're falling.
If maybe
apart. They're
because
the worst.
Possibly
what
Pacific
they're
East, we
trying to
don't know how
do,
good
like
Chinese
what the
teams
league
are.
said,
That-
is that they're trying to like make Luminosity or like think they're the owners,
Yeah, they own
like buy
Vancouver.
them a house or do something to like make them at better conditions. Like they're not.
Like
I don't
calling
think
up
they're actually because
Boston.
they either want to leave Vancouver or have them have better situation for their.
Maybe get bought out.
Yeah.
Hopefully, they deserve the world.
They
but
deserve a much better conditions
being
for them.
Last year, the second best team.
Yeah.
I think next year,
They only
not
got-
next year, but I think next in the tiers though would probably be Chengdu.
Well,
Yeah, Chengdu
That
probably.
seems realistic. Yeah.
Chengdu below Dallas.
I don't know.
Mm.
I feel like
Dallas
Dallas and
might-
Valiant are very close in skill, so they probably should
Yeah,
be
but I
right
think
next.
I think Dallas picked it up this week, though, man. They were
They
Toe
did
to toe
face
with the
Shock
Shock and all-
toe-to-toe.
and Shock was not missing any comfort picks really.
True.
Kind of
But it
played-
depends, because
So
remember,
it's smart.
Valiant also beat them in the actual meta that we
Line
think
meta.
is.
Yeah,
So
so
it's how-
They
again,
also
we
were
don't
really
exactly know.
messy.
That was first week. So
Exactly. So it's just up to what we think.
yeah, do we trust Chengdu in a Rhine meta more than we trust? Though actually,
But can you
China-
trust Dallas though?
You don't even know if they're gonna run Rhine.
Yeah,
They could be running
Winston.
They could be running Winston, Zarya.
Zarya.
But yeah,
Shanghai ran
So-
all Zarya first week.
I think a
That's
safe
Chinese.
pick here would be Dallas.
Yeah, I'd probably.
It's
put that
definitely
as the-
Dallas, Chengdu, or Chengdu then Dallas. For
Dallas.
I,
Hey,
man,
hey, Dallas-
I think Dallas looks better than Chengdu, to be honest. After last week, they clicked. They look like a team now, which they'd never have.
That's
before,
true.
Realistically, but it's up to you guys.
I'd say Dallas then Dallas is below Chengdu.
Dallas play from their like original roster season 1 now.
No. Harry Hook once or twice this season. And then
Harry
no
Hook,
one else.
best
No,
soldier.
he's the only one who's on the roster from the original.
So sad. Mickey's a content creator, so that's cool. But
Yeah, so that
on to the next one.
Yeah,
I
they
like.
should have made him a coach.
He wasn't that good, but he was like really positive. He's like,
I'd say Gladiators next.
Yeah, that's who I was gonna say too.
That's fair.
Because I think the Pacific region is really
Wait,
close.
so what numbers do we have left? How many teams have we written? 1, 2, 3,
1, 2,
4,
3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12,
14.
13.
13? Oh, I'm bad at counting. Never mind.
Okay, so that's 28, 19, 18.
So we have 7 teams left.
Yes.
I don't know.
The
Gladiators.
teams we have left is
Oh,
Seoul.
wait. Yeah, are we sure Florida is this high?
I think if not,
I
if
say
they're
Florida's
not-
there. I say Florida's right after Gladiators.
Well, we'll put Florida there.
Are we sure that
Uh,
Gladiators are worse than Shock though?
Yeah,
Yeah,
probably.
Yeah.
It's just Shock
Depends.
dumpster fire.
Shock with
for
is
their
Shock with
body.
Reinhardt? Shock with
Yeah.
Reinhardt?
No,
You
no,
know
I
how
think
good
Shock
that can
even
be?
without Reinhardt is really good because that's
Yeah, but even with Reinhardt, which is this is for like next week at least. This is the tier list.
I
Yeah.
still think Shock's better than Gladiators.
And remember, Alex, there's gonna
Shock
be no
was
hero
fine.
bans during
Oh, yeah, during
finals and
playoffs.
stuff.
Yeah, where are we now? We're on. We
Top-
have 6 more.
Yeah,
Top 6?
Yeah, it's
Uh,
San Fran, Atlanta, New York, Shanghai, Philly, and Seoul. I'd probably
I'd put Atlanta.
yeah, definitely.
Mhm.
I don't know how good is New York? How good are they? Like, because they're New
Right.
York,
I'd say-
obviously.
I'd say New York right here.
Yeah,
New
right
York's
after this.
at least. I think New York's in the top 5, but I don't think they're too far up.
And then this is where I would put Philly, because
Uh,
if you look at
What
they're
do we have-
8 and
what
1,
do we have
right?
left?
They're
We
8
have
and
left.
1. We have Philly, Shanghai, New York, or not New York. Philly, Shanghai, Seoul, and San Fran.
Okay.
4 teams.
yeah, I'm okay with that.
And I'd say
I'd go
Shanghai,
Philly.
Seoul, and
But-
San Fran are better than Philly because Philly has 8 wins, right? But they've beaten like the best team they've beaten is New York, and then they have like Paris as their second best win. Every other team, like I'm gonna go look at their
Paris-
schedule.
Maybe
Paris
Maybe
without
Paris
XE.
without XE. Yeah. Paris
Yeah,
without
they
XE.
almost-
they
Yeah,
lost
and
to
then they
Paris
lost
with
to
XE.
With XE.
Yeah.
So
I'd say Philly.
yeah,
definitely
I'd
right
say
there.
Philly too.
Then this is where it gets hard.
I'd
I'd
put,
say San Fran
Yeah, they have
Say
lost
either
2
San
games.
Fran or Atlanta.
for the simple fact that they look shaky at times.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's weird. Not a San Fran thing of them, but yeah, they do look shaky.
Yeah, they were really
But-
clean last year.
This is where I would. But it's Ryan, so Seoul. Ugh, we forgot that.
Yeah,
But
we
we
haven't
don't
seen-
we don't know.
haven't
We
seen-
just
Yeah,
don't
but
know.
I think Marvel could possibly.
We
play
haven't
also.
seen either of these teams with this meta, I'm pretty sure.
We haven't because Seoul never played and Shanghai didn't play with week 1 through 4.
Yeah, I don't think so. We can't exactly know exactly
You
where,
can't
but
criticize them. So
I think Fleta has played man a little, and he didn't look bad.
But I honestly think
Fleta-
just
Fleta is
Seoul's
really-
roster is just overall better than Shanghai's.
Yeah.
Like if
I think
They
Shanghai.
have a
was-
better-
Probably put-
they have a
Wait,
better main
who do we have
team.
left?
Fearless / Stand One. Also, we don't know if they can play Ryan. So
Yeah, that's true.
I put Shanghai and
I put
Seoul at
Shanghai.
number 1.
Shanghai, Seoul
they
number
have
one.
Prophet, who we always know can perform well.
Good
The
one.
Doshin performs really pretty good at all times. And then Toby, he's like he can perform very well, but
Also very low.
Mediocre.
but
Toby's
now.
good Lucio. Toby's good.
veteran. So
yeah.
Yep.
you
He's
need
good
one
Lucio.
at least, right?
So,
Honest, crazy.
Gesture or Marvel?
Marvel,
they're-
they
the Rhines
cover
are
they cover
like,
some good hero pools, but
pretty good diva.
I don't know if they're ever going to be able to play ball.
Who plays Fitz
And then-
or
Never have to.
Fitz,
Alyssa?
yeah, it's Fitz and it's
Prophet.
Fitz and
Okay, so our rankings are Boston, Washington, Toronto, Houston, Hangzhou, Guangzhou, London, then Vancouver, Paris, Valiant, then Dallas, Chengdu, Gladiators, Florida, Atlanta, New York, Philly, San Fran, Shanghai, and then Seoul at number 1.
I feel bad. I feel weird with Florida, dude.
I feel weird with
Florida's
Paris so low, but they don't have
high.
XE.
Yeah.
Florida seems a little high to me.
Yeah, I
Maybe
think
Gladiators higher than
Gladiators are
Florida.
better. Yeah,
Yeah,
but just by one.
But I
don't
think Florida's definitely better than Chengdu.
Yeah.
So I honestly,
Yeah.
just move those, and then I think we're good.
We'll switch Gladiators and
Who is Gladiators tanks?
OGE
OG
in
in
space.
space.
Oh, yeah,
pretty
very
good.
and
Pretty
one
good.
mediocre.
Very good young talent.
True.
Yeah.
OGE can
But-
pop off at times, and space
But
is
OG
very
is a little
good.
inconsistent.
All the time.
Yeah.
Ace is,
Forget about LH
very
Cloudy. too.
consistent.
They got
LH
LH.
Cloudy.
LH Cloudy.
They
Uh,
hit a huge play on like their first game against
Yeah, I
Vancouver.
remember
They're
that
gonna
on
they're
the
gonna
call.
re-pick up iRemix.
Came behind and then he got a
Yeah. Bring back remix. All right, is this?
I think this is our good
This
power
is it.
for next week.
I just want to
guys.
discuss who do you think might if Slime gets dropped from Vancouver, who do you think might be main support for them?
I
'Cause
think
they
if
only
you
have-
had a soul, dude.
Right
Soul.
now.
Slime the soul.
Who
Would-
would be their main support?
Yeah, who will
Um,
Vancouver have for me? They only have Ryu on if they drop both Slime and
They'll
Twilight.
probably have to play Jay Hall.
They can't drop them without getting another
Picking up
support.
somebody up.
Yeah.
They'll have to get.
Isn't
another
that also
support.
the same with DPS too?
Maybe.
Eh.
Don't know.
They have Siominsu, Haxel, and Stitch.
Oh,
they drop
Stitch.
Urek?
Yeah, they dropped 2 I think.
Yeah, they dropped Hurek.
Okay.
They dropped
Um,
TZ.
Tizzy. Oh man, oh boy.
London players and Hureg and TZ. Both
we
who like
like-
never played.
So let me just preface this by it's way too early for these picks, but who are you guys thinking are the early runners for MVP and championship candidacy?
MVP.
Yeah.
MVP's hard.
Oh yeah, I was about to say that's so because
MVP is
okay,
pretty hard.
one thing that you actually have to think about this, which is not entirely fair, but like how popular the person is because of
That's
Sinatra, you
true.
know, because how much the
Sinatra
vote.
Sinatra did, I think, get voted in because he was just a little bit more popular than someone like Janu, for instance.
I think Prophet has a good chance. He's pretty popular and his team's really good.
That's what I was also going to say that, but
Yeah. But
depends because it also depends who the championship team is. That also matters.
My prediction for championship right now is Shanghai versus Seoul. That's just my early prediction.
You know,
Might
I could-
be.
I
an
could see
MVP.
that, yeah.
I could see
But
that,
I could also see Shock again.
I
I
honestly
could see
think
Shock.
Shock is probably just gonna ramp it up somehow, and then Super somehow gonna win
You
MVP.
can never sleep on Shock ever with their roster. You can never sleep on
Yeah.
Shock.
Yeah, exactly. But for
They have
me,
like a
at
really
the-
flexible
for
roster.
me at least at the moment, my my MVP right now would be Carpe, because
I don't know.
even though he's
He's
they face
popular
bad-
too, yeah.
even though he's faced bad teams, he's popular, and they've won 8 out of 9 games.
Yeah.
That's only right now. Just
So he-
like
but if you think about it,
Oh, 19
they're
games.
contributing to wins, and we cannot be
If
sure.
Widow actually is meta, like people are
I
one
could see
team
Carpe
thinks
with
next
yeah,
week, then
like
yeah.
Florida posted on Twitter that they're thinking. I think Carpe is gonna just pop this week.
Exactly, but we don't know. We cannot know from that people are going to get wins because it's hectic with the hero pool system. 1 week your whole team could be screwed over just from a bad meta.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What do you guys think for rookie of the year?
Oh,
Isn't Lip a rookie?
I think
Lip
either
is-
Lip or Anton Sniper
Or
and-
KSP, if Valiant rank like actually does good, KSP could get because he's pretty popular
Don't
for.
forget about Hisu too. Hisu looks
Yeah.
really good.
Mhm.
Dallas is a pretty popular team, and Doha's doing pretty good for his team, but he's not the true carry because Decay is on the team.
If Valiant was better, I feel like KSP could
I
get it
feel like
because
KSP could get it
KSP he performed well every single game. Like he was crazy.
And KSP is definitely the most consistent player on the Valiant.
Uh-huh.
Does that wrap us up here, boys?
I think
Um,
so.
Wait, is Ash viable,
No.
or is it
No.
just because McCree and Widow are? I'm a big Ash fan.
I think
It was just
the
because
ban.
McCree and Widow are banned.
And
Good play.
Valiant.
Week, don't
And
worry.
Valiant. All right. Well, I think that wraps it up, guys.
But don't forget about. Did we talk
In
about
conclusion,
Glimmer?
Our sailor of the week was Lip.
Lip this week.
Our early predictions were for the finals, I guess, was Shanghai and Seoul, but possibly Shock.
San Fran and
my
Fusion in New York would round out the
Yeah.
top 5.
yeah, my MVP would be Carpe at the moment. Too early MVP. And our rookie of the year, I guess, would
Be
be
Lip.
Lip
Lip?
and or
KSP?
KSP.
Or Hisu. You can't sleep on Hisu, dude.
You never know.
He's really
Hisu might just get it.
All right, well, thank you
Yeah.
for watching. This
Thank you
has
for
been
watching.
Max, Brett, Zach, and Alex on the Boys in the Boat Overwatch League podcast, episode 1.